the outcasts who became heroes. In the annals of biblical history, a group of warriors stood out not just for their martial prowess, but for their unwavering loyalty and faith. These were David's mighty men, a cadre of elite fighters whose exploits rival the most heroic tales of any age. But who were these men? And how did they transform from outcasts to heroes? The origins of these warriors can be traced to David's tumultuous early days as a fugitive. As recorded in Scripture, David, fleeing from King Saul's jealous wrath, found himself in the wilderness of Judah. It was here, in the cave of Adullam, that the future king's band began to form. The Bible states in 1 Samuel 22:2, "And everyone who was in distress, and everyone who was in debt, and everyone who was bitter in soul, gathered to him, and he became commander over them." These initial followers, outcasts from society, would undergo a remarkable transformation under David's leadership. Through shared hardships and unwavering faith, they would emerge as some of the most celebrated warriors in biblical history. How did this extraordinary metamorphosis occur? What qualities of courage, loyalty, and faith propelled these men from obscurity to renown? The forging of loyalty. Among the many feats of David's mighty men, one act stands out as a testament to their unwavering loyalty. What drove 3 of his warriors to risk their lives for a seemingly simple request? Their actions would not only demonstrate their commitment, but also reveal the depth of David's leadership. The loyalty forged between David and his mighty men was not born of mere chance or convenience. It was a bond tempered in the fires of adversity, shaped by shared hardships and a common purpose. As David led his band of outcasts through the wilderness, evading King Saul's pursuit, the foundations of an unshakable allegiance were laid. One particular incident, recorded in the 2 Samuel 23:13-17, illustrates the extraordinary lengths to which these men would go for their leader. The scriptures recount a time when David, stationed at the cave of Adullam, expressed a longing for water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem. This seemingly innocuous wish would spark an act of devotion that would be remembered for generations. At the time, Bethlehem was under Philistine occupation, making David's desire not just difficult, but perilous to fulfill. Yet, upon hearing their leader's words, 3 of David's mighty men took it upon themselves to answer this unspoken challenge. Without hesitation, they broke through the Philistine lines, drew water from the well, and brought it back to David. This act of bravery goes beyond mere military prowess. It speaks to the deep emotional connection these warriors had developed with David. They were willing to risk their lives not for a strategic advantage or in the heat of battle, but simply to bring comfort to their leader. Such loyalty is rare and speaks volumes about the character of both the mighty men and David himself. David's response to this gesture is equally telling. Upon receiving the water, he was deeply moved. The scriptures state that he refused to drink it, instead pouring it out as an offering to the Lord. David declared, "Far be it from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Shall I drink the blood of the men who went at the risk of their lives?" 2 Samuel 23:17. This reaction reveals the profound impact the warrior's act had on David. He recognized the water not as a simple drink, but as a representation of the lives and loyalty of his men. By pouring it out as an offering, David elevated their act of devotion to a sacred level, acknowledging it as something too precious for human consumption. The incident at Bethlehem serves as a powerful illustration of how loyalty is cultivated through shared adversity and purpose. These men, who had once been in distress, in debt, or bitter in soul, had been transformed. Their experiences alongside David had forged them into a cohesive unit, bound by ties stronger than mere military discipline. The loyalty of David's mighty men extended beyond personal devotion to David. It was rooted in a shared commitment to a higher purpose. These men weren't just following a charismatic leader. They were part of a divine plan, fighting not just for David, but for the future of Israel as ordained by God. Courage in the face of overwhelming odds. The commitment of David's men extended far beyond the battlefield. How did a single warrior's act of defiance against an entire Philistine army reshape the course of Israel's history? The tale of this lone stand illuminates the power of individual courage in God's grand design. In the chronicles of David's mighty men, two warriors stand out for their extraordinary displays of valor, Eleazar and Shammah. Their acts of bravery not only demonstrated personal courage, but also contributed significantly to the overall success of David's forces, inspiring others to stand firm in the face of danger. The account of Eleazar's bravery is recorded in 2 Samuel 23:9-10. The scriptures state, "He arose and struck the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand stuck to the sword." This vivid description paints a picture of a warrior so committed to the fight that he continued long past the point of exhaustion. Eleazar's hand, frozen to his weapon, symbolizes the unyielding nature of his resolve. This act of individual heroism had a profound impact on the battle. Eleazar's unwavering stand against the Philistines likely turned the tide of the conflict, preventing a potential defeat and boosting the morale of his fellow soldiers. His example demonstrates how a single individual's courage can inspire an entire army to press on in the face of overwhelming odds. Similarly, Shammah's act of bravery is detailed in 2 Samuel 23:11-12. The Bible recounts how, when others fled from the Philistines, Shammah took his stand in the midst of a field of lentils and defended it. The scriptures emphasize his willingness to stand alone against overwhelming odds, stating, "But he took his stand in the midst of the plot and defended it, and struck down the Philistines." At first glance, defending a field of lentils might seem an insignificant act. However, this seemingly small stand carried great significance. In the context of ancient Near Eastern warfare, crops were vital resources. By defending this field, Shammah was protecting not just the immediate food supply, but also the long-term sustainability of his people. His actions demonstrate that true heroism often manifests in the defense of what others might overlook or abandon. These acts of individual bravery by Eleazar and Shammah illustrate a crucial aspect of warfare and leadership: the power of personal example. In the chaos of battle, it is often the actions of a few brave individuals that can turn the tide. By standing firm when others retreated, these warriors provided a rallying point for their comrades, potentially preventing a rout and securing victory. Moreover, the courage displayed by Eleazar and Shammah reflects the transformative power of purpose and faith. These men, who had once been part of a band of outcasts and debtors, had found in David's service a cause worth fighting for. Their actions were not mere displays of physical prowess, but manifestations of a deeper commitment to their leader, their people, and their God. The stories of Eleazar and Shammah also provide insight into the nature of courage itself. True bravery, as exemplified by these warriors, is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. It is the determination to stand firm when others flee, to defend what is valuable even when the odds seem insurmountable. Faith as the foundation of strength. The valor of David's warriors stemmed from more than mere physical strength. What unseen force elevated these men from skilled fighters to pivotal figures in God's plan for Israel? The scriptures point to a spiritual metamorphosis that redefined their role in biblical history. The transformation of David's mighty men from outcasts to heroes was not solely a result of their martial skills or loyalty to their leader. At the core of their metamorphosis lay a profound spiritual awakening that shaped their identity and purpose. This spiritual foundation not only strengthened their resolve, but also aligned their actions with a divine plan that extended far beyond the battlefield. The religious context of David's reign played a crucial role in influencing his mighty men. David, known as a man after led not just by military strategy, but through a deep commitment to the God of Israel. This devotion to faith permeated the ranks of his followers, including the mighty men who found in their service to David that transcended mere military duty. One of the most striking examples of this spiritual transformation can be seen in the conversion of pagan warriors who joined David's ranks. The scriptures mention warriors like Zelek the Ammonite and Uriah the Hittite, who came from nations traditionally at odds with Israel. Their presence among David's elite forces suggests a profound change in allegiance, not just to a new leader, but to a new faith. The case of Uriah the Hittite is particularly illustrative of this spiritual metamorphosis. Despite his foreign origins, Uriah displayed an unwavering loyalty to David and a deep concern for the Ark of the Covenant, a central symbol of Israel's faith. His actions indicate not just a superficial acceptance of his new role, but a genuine embrace of the God of Israel and the spiritual principles that guided David's kingdom. The impact of this spiritual transformation on the mighty men is perhaps best encapsulated in our Chronicles 11:10, which states, "Now these are the chiefs of David's mighty men, who gave him strong support in his kingdom, together with all Israel, to make him king, according to the word of the Lord concerning Israel." This passage emphasizes that the mighty men were not just serving a human king, but were instrumental in fulfilling God's will for David's kingdom and, by extension, for Israel itself. This alignment with divine purpose provided the mighty men with a strength that transcended their physical capabilities. Their faith fostered a sense of purpose that allowed them to perform extraordinary feats, not just of physical prowess, but of courage and self-sacrifice. They saw their actions as part of a larger narrative, one in which they played a crucial role in the unfolding of God's plan for his chosen people. The narrative of David's mighty men illustrates a profound truth about the nature of true strength. While their physical abilities were undoubtedly impressive, it was their faith that truly set them apart. This spiritual dimension allowed them to see opportunities where others saw only obstacles, to stand firm when others retreated, and to act with a sense of purpose that extended beyond personal glory or gain. As one scholar noted, the mighty men did not run from the fight. They ran toward it. They saw victory where others saw defeat, and seized opportunities where others hesitated or cowered in fear. This observation captures the essence of how faith transformed these men, giving them not just courage, but a perspective that allowed them to face challenges with confidence and resolve. The power of small, dedicated groups. In the annals of military history, few groups have achieved such renown with so few members. What was the hidden strength that allowed David's small cadre of warriors to rival entire armies in their impact on Israel's fortunes? The Bible speaks of David's 30 mighty men, yet a closer examination reveals an intriguing numerical discrepancy that sheds light on the true nature of this elite force. The scriptures, specifically Samuel 23 and Chronicles 11, provide a detailed account of David's most valiant warriors. While commonly referred to as the 30, the actual number of warriors mentioned is 37. This apparent contradiction serves to highlight the fluid nature of this elite group, suggesting that membership may have fluctuated over time, or that the term 30 was used as a general designation for David's inner circle of warriors. The organizational structure of David's mighty men provides insight into their effectiveness. Biblical evidence suggests that they operated in smaller squads, typically groups of 3. This tactical approach allowed for greater flexibility and specialization within the ranks, enabling them to adapt to various combat scenarios and maximize their impact on the battlefield. Among these elite warriors, the first squad stands out for their extraordinary feats. This group consisted of Josheb-Basshebeth, Eleazar, and Shammah. Josheb-Basshebeth, also known as Adino the Eznite, is credited with the remarkable feat of killing 800 men in a single encounter. Such a feat, while seemingly implausible by modern standards, underscores the legendary status these warriors held in ancient Israelite society. Eleazar, son of Dodo the Ahohite, demonstrated unparalleled determination in battle. The scriptures recount how he fought so fiercely against the Philistines that his hand became stuck to his sword. This vivid description not only illustrates Eleazar's physical prowess but also his unwavering commitment to the fight, pushing beyond normal human limitations. Shammah, son of Agi the Hararite, displayed exceptional courage when faced with overwhelming odds. When the Philistines gathered for battle and the Israelite troops fled, Shammah stood his ground, defending a field of lentils. His solitary stand against the enemy forces resulted in a great victory for Israel, demonstrating how a single determined individual can turn the tide of battle. The achievements of these three warriors exemplify the strength of David's leadership and the caliber of men he attracted to his cause. Their actions not only secured military victories but also inspired others within the ranks to demonstrate similar bravery in the face of daunting challenges. The impact of David's mighty men extends far beyond their immediate military successes. Despite being a relatively small group, their influence on the fortunes of Israel was profound. Their legendary exploits served as a source of inspiration and motivation for the entire Israelite army, potentially multiplying their effectiveness far beyond their numbers. The power of small, dedicated groups to effect significant change is a recurring theme throughout history. In the case of David's mighty men, their cohesion, skill, and unwavering commitment to their cause allowed them to achieve results disproportionate to their size. This phenomenon is not unique to ancient times. Modern military units, such as special forces teams, often demonstrate similar capabilities. The effectiveness of David's elite warriors also highlights the importance of quality over quantity in military affairs. While large armies certainly have their place, the Bible's account of these mighty men suggests that a small group of highly skilled and motivated individuals can sometimes be more impactful than a larger, less cohesive force. Furthermore, the organization of the mighty men into smaller squads reflects a sophisticated understanding of military tactics. This structure allowed for greater agility and responsiveness in battle, enabling these elite warriors to exploit opportunities and address threats quickly and effectively. Leadership that inspires greatness. David's ability to inspire greatness in his followers was a cornerstone of his leadership. While tactical organization and military prowess were crucial, a more profound force shaped these warriors. What quality of David's leadership transformed ordinary men, some initially in distress and debt, into legendary heroes capable of superhuman feats? The answer lies in David's unique blend of charismatic leadership, unwavering faith, and personal example. His journey from shepherd boy to king resonated with his followers, many of whom had also risen from humble beginnings. This shared experience created a strong bond between David and his men, fostering a sense of loyalty that went beyond mere military allegiance. David's leadership style was characterized by his ability to rally men from diverse backgrounds. As recorded in Scripture, he attracted those who were in distress, in debt, and discontented. This diverse group of outcasts and malcontents became the foundation of his mighty fighting force. David's capacity to unify such a disparate group under a common purpose speaks volumes about his leadership qualities. One of the key aspects of David's leadership was his own military prowess. His reputation as a skilled warrior, established early on with his victory over Goliath, instilled confidence in his followers. This confidence was crucial in inspiring his men to attempt feats that seemed beyond human capability. David's personal courage set a standard that his mighty men sought to emulate, pushing themselves to extraordinary lengths in battle. However, David's leadership extended beyond mere martial skill. His moral integrity and respect for divine authority played a significant role in solidifying the loyalty of his men. One notable example is David's decision to spare Saul's life when he had the opportunity to kill him. This act demonstrated David's commitment to honoring God's anointed, even when it conflicted with his personal interests. Such displays of moral courage likely resonated deeply with his followers, reinforcing their faith in David as a leader chosen by God. David's leadership was also characterized by his ability to inspire courage in his men through strategic thinking and delegation. He organized his mighty men into elite squads that operated effectively in battle, demonstrating his understanding of military tactics and his trust in his men's abilities. This organizational structure allowed his warriors to maximize their individual strengths while working cohesively as a unit. The effectiveness of David's leadership is also evident in the long-term impact it had on his followers. Benaiah, one of David's mighty men, went on to become a commander and was entrusted with significant responsibilities even after David's reign. This illustrates how David's leadership not only inspired immediate loyalty, but also fostered long-term growth and development in his followers. The cost of loyalty, tragedy, and betrayal. While David's leadership inspired loyalty and growth, it also cast a shadow over one of his most devoted warriors. The story of Uriah the Hittite stands as a somber testament to the complexities of human nature and the tragic consequences that can arise from moral failure, even among those considered great leaders. Uriah, one of David's mighty men, was known for his unwavering loyalty and commitment to his king and fellow soldiers. His dedication is exemplified in his response to David's attempt to send him home during a time of war. Uriah declared, "The ark and Israel and Judah dwell in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go to my house to eat and drink and to lie with my wife? As you live, and as your soul lives, I will not do this thing." 2 Samuel 11:11. While Uriah refused to indulge in comforts while his comrades were at war, David had already succumbed to temptation by engaging in an affair with Uriah's wife, Bathsheba. The tragic turn in Uriah's story came when David, in an attempt to cover up his adultery and Bathsheba's resulting pregnancy, orchestrated Uriah's death on the battlefield. This act of betrayal marks one of the darkest moments in David's reign, highlighting the grave consequences of moral failure in leadership. David's decision to have Uriah placed at the forefront of the battle, where the fighting was fiercest, ensured his death and revealed a side of David's character that starkly contrasted with his reputation as a just and godly king. This incident serves as a poignant reminder that even those considered to be great leaders are susceptible to moral failings with far-reaching consequences. This event had significant repercussions for David's reign and his relationship with God. The prophet Nathan confronted David about his sin, leading to David's repentance, but the consequences of his actions continued to affect his rule and his family. The betrayal of Uriah serves as a turning point in the narrative of David's life, marking a shift from his earlier triumphs to a period of personal and political turmoil. Moreover, this narrative challenges readers to consider the multifaceted nature of biblical heroes. David, often praised for his faith and leadership, is shown here at his worst, committing acts that directly contradict the values he supposedly upheld. This complexity in character portrayal adds a layer of realism to biblical narratives, presenting figures not as flawless icons, but as deeply human, capable of both great achievements and grave mistakes. The tragedy of Uriah also serves as a cautionary tale about the abuse of power. David's ability to orchestrate Uriah's death demonstrates the dangerous potential for leaders to misuse their authority for personal gain or to cover up wrongdoing. This aspect of the story resonates with timeless themes of corruption and the need for accountability in leadership. In the broader context of David's mighty men, Uriah's story stands out as a somber counterpoint to the tales of battlefield heroics. While other mighty men are celebrated for their feats of strength and courage, Uriah is remembered for his loyalty and the injustice he suffered. This juxtaposition highlights the diverse ways in which individuals can demonstrate valor and the sometimes unexpected forms that heroism can take. Extraordinary feats and lasting legacy. Among the most extraordinary tales of these men is that of Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, whose exploits include a remarkable encounter with a lion in a pit on a snowy day. This incident, recorded in 2 Samuel 23:20, exemplifies the exceptional bravery and skill that characterized David's elite warriors. The setting of this encounter, a pit on a snowy day, adds to the dramatic nature of the feat. Snow, a rare occurrence in the region, would have made the ground treacherous and visibility poor, compounding the already formidable challenge of facing a ferocious predator. Yet Benaiah emerged victorious from this perilous situation, solidifying his reputation as one of David's most valiant warriors. The extraordinary nature of Benaiah's accomplishments extends beyond his encounter with the lion. The scriptures also credit him with striking down 2 of Moab's mightiest warriors and defeating a giant Egyptian, demonstrating his consistent ability to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. These feats not only highlight Benaiah's individual skill, but also reflect the caliber of warriors that comprised David's elite force. Another of David's mighty men, who achieved legendary status, was Abishai, brother of Joab. The Bible records that Abishai once killed 300 men with his spear in a single encounter. This remarkable feat, mentioned in 2 Samuel 23:18, illustrates the exceptional martial skill possessed by these warriors. The ability to defeat such a large number of opponents single-handedly speaks to a level of combat proficiency that transcends ordinary human capabilities. Abishai's valor extended beyond his individual combat skills. The scriptures also recount an incident where he came to David's aid during a battle with the Philistines. When David grew weary in combat, a Philistine warrior named Ishbi-benob, described as a descendant of the giants, sought to kill him. It was Abishai who intervened, striking down the Philistine and saving David's life. This act of loyalty and courage underscores the deep bond between David and his mighty men, as well as their readiness to face even the most formidable foes in defense of their leader. The feats of David's mighty men, such as Benaiah's lion encounter and Abishai's giant slaying, have captivated readers throughout history. These stories resonate with timeless themes of courage, loyalty, and faith in the face of overwhelming odds. They serve as powerful examples of human potential when guided by unwavering conviction and divine purpose. In addition to Benaiah and Abishai, other mighty men also performed extraordinary feats that have left a lasting impression. Josheb-Basshebeth, also known as Adino the Eznite, is credited with killing 800 men in a single battle. This astonishing feat is recorded in 2 Samuel 23:8. The enduring impact of these warriors' legacy is evident in how their stories continue to be studied, discussed, and applied in various contexts. Military strategists have examined their tactics and organization for insights into effective small unit operations. Religious leaders have drawn upon their examples to illustrate principles of faith, courage, and loyalty. Even in secular contexts, the mighty men's feats serve as metaphors for overcoming adversity and achieving the seemingly impossible. From ancient warriors to modern inspiration. The stories of David's mighty men, with their extraordinary feats of courage, loyalty, and faith, continue to resonate in modern times. These ancient warriors exemplify virtues that remain highly relevant in today's world. Their unwavering commitment to a higher purpose challenges us to consider our own values and actions in the face of adversity. In our personal relationships, we can draw inspiration from the loyalty demonstrated by these warriors. In societal challenges, their courage in standing against overwhelming odds can motivate us to take principled stands. The faith that underpinned their actions reminds us of the importance of aligning our lives with deeply held beliefs. As we reflect on these timeless virtues, we are challenged to embody them in our own lives. By cultivating courage, loyalty, and faith, we have the potential to transform not only ourselves, but also our communities, much like David's mighty men, shaped the course of ancient Israel's history.